What I tried to do today on today's session is sharing, and hopefully by the end of the session, you can take some insights with you to your operations and to your brand. So that's the main purpose. Livit is mainly known for restaurant design, but actually what's really important was we do under the surface, where it's everything from operation technology and really try to disrupt the industry. So as you see behind me, we are now in 46 countries and we open roughly 1,000 restaurants per year. And that gives us a little bit of the crystal ball, right? Knowing all markets, 6 continents, where are consumers heading? What are the real challenges? I come from Stockholm. We pay $23 minimum wage, right? So when you guys here are concerned about minimum wage raising, we come from the future and we have solutions for that, hopefully. So we've opened over 13,000 restaurants. It's super cool to see some of our clients in the room. Thanks for that. But over these years, we've learned a lot. I learned from the big guys, the small guys, and the disruptors. But I think what's really happening is this disruption in what consumers are really looking for. And the previous keynote speaker talked a lot about experience. So what we've tried to do is really double down on what is experience and what is that we're looking for. So we talk to a lot of our guests and a lot of clients. Obviously, we do research and focus groups all over the world. And a lot of them actually said, would love this to be a Soho House, but without the membership. It's a place where I can work, I can live, I can play. It's a place where I'm see and be seen. It's a place to belong. And at the same time, it's aspirational. It's a place I want to belong to, right? But I'm not going to go away from value. So it still has to be affordable. So we took all those things. And then we asked you, the operators, what are you looking really for? What is the restaurant of the future for you guys? And the answer was this. We would love to have the traffic and the throughput of QSR, but in a lifestyle wrapping, right? When we're now, almost the industry is either you are convenience or you are experience. We try to focus on the experience, the brick and mortar. What is that going to be in the future, right? So we want our brands to be relevant. We obviously need a great return on investment capital. We want efficiency. We have problems with our skilled labor. There's a pond of labor, not a pool of labor, right? And we want it to be highly tech-driven. So with all this information that you gave us, we said this, what if we could take the efficiency of QSR, affordable prices, quick service, and plug that into a fine dining environment? You know, somewhere where you have elevated food, damn good cocktails in an aspirational setting. Nobody's done it. What would happen if we do it? So our lab brief was this. We said, we want a fine dining environment at fast casual prices. We wanted high throughput, and we measured that at a guest every 30 seconds, and high transaction capacity, 1,000 guests per store. Tight footprints. Our latest store in south of Sweden is 3,500 square feet with 200 seats. And a reduced capex. I'll tell you more about that. And then this is what's really interesting. We decided only to hire team members that had never worked in a restaurant. No experience whatsoever, and no chefs. We wanted operational efficiency and staff flexibility, cross-training. And then lastly, we wanted to be powered by tech. How can we be profitable in a high-cost market like Sweden? And it was interesting because we opened our first store, a lab store, 3 years ago. And then 4 months ago, we came to the US and opened in the US. And if you asked anyone where not to come and open a store, they said California. Well, there we went, to California. Here we are. And not only in California, we went to downtown LA, which is even more challenging. So after the success of Stockholm, and I had the pleasure to share with you 2 years ago some of the learnings from there, we were named the Amazon Go of restaurants because of the tech and the efficiency we had. We decided to take it one step further and do a 2.0 lab. So this is what it looks like. It's in downtown LA. If you have time, feel free to visit. The interesting thing about this is we opened only 4 months ago, and we just won the award for the best restaurant design of the year. Everything you see on these pictures is built off-site. We only hired MEP in the US. Everything else is directly sourced from the factories. So granites and marble come directly from the quarry in China. All the furniture, the bar come from Spain. So we literally source this globally. Interesting fact, I did a little Q&A yesterday at the restaurant, and I asked 4 of you how much the capex was for this restaurant. And the answer was between $3 and $3.2 million. We built this whole thing, 4,800 square feet, for $1.5 million. So just disrupting the way we build our restaurant and design our restaurant is very interesting. This is a restroom. It's the most Instagrammed restroom in the US. And depending if you're on the male side, on the women's side, there's different messages, so you have to check both out. Interestingly enough, we spent $0 on social media marketing. 0. We have no budget for social media. During the first 5 days of operations, we were getting 1 Instagram follower per second. We had 5,000 followers on day 5. This is all user-generated content. So what we wanted to create is a concept that works from breakfast, early morning, through lounge. You can come in, you can sit, you can hang out with your laptop, to late night. And for those of you who haven't visited, I have a quick 1-minute video of what the space looks like on a Thursday night. So in our US store, we've now started to open in the evenings. You can have some music on. And as we grow, we're going to start with brunch and then lunch. In our Swedish store, we're normally at capacity from 11 a.m. in the morning till 2 a.m. at night. So it's all about capturing all day parts. Having everything from coming in early morning in the breakfast to really late night drinks and cocktails. It's been named the best space for events in downtown LA, which is great. So we do a lot of film shootings, a lot of events, etc., which is an additional revenue stream. This is a picture. The space was an old jewelry store from 1925, and we converted the vault into a speakeasy. So if you go to the restroom corridor, there's a door that says emergency exit, alarm will sound. If you open that door, you get into the speakeasy. But just because it's pretty doesn't mean that it works. So I want to share some insights that you can take with you, hopefully, to your concepts and as a sneak peek to the future. So in terms of menu, it's a very simple menu. We have shareables, we have bowls and salads, and we have pizzas. 60% of the menu is vegetarian, 20% of the menu is vegan. Very quick, very easy. Our highest item on the whole menu is $16. It's a black truffle pizza with real black truffle. There's no truffle oil. So thanks to throughput, scale, and efficiency, you can really have affordable prices in an environment like this. This is our food. This is how it looks like. Considering that we're using no chefs, so we work with a Michelin star chef that actually creates our menu, but everything is based on assembly line. So this is the look of some of the dishes. We have no mixologists, so most of our cocktails, or all the cocktails from the cocktail list, are pre-batched, but we focus a lot on the presentation. So the one to the right is called the smoking pot. We can sell 200 smoking pots a night in this place. And it's all about the look and feel. So most of our drinks are actually designed not for picture, they're designed for stories, for Instagram stories. So there's a movement in it. The drink to the left actually comes in yellow, and when you pour it, it turns red. You guys that visited yesterday, you had a drink that was white, and when we poured it, it turned out to be purple. So very interesting. Very limited back of the house. This is the only piece of equipment. I toured some of you the kitchen. There's no kitchen. The prep is this size, and that's it. So everything goes only through one piece of equipment, and that's why we have a kitchen that's only 600 square feet. Out of 600 square feet kitchen, we can produce 1,000 meals a day. Very interesting model. The fact that we hire for attitude, you don't need to have experience in the restaurant, allows us to cross-train. So the whole training of the team members is on an app. They train on the way home or on the way to work. And what we do is that we promote cross-training. So the more stations they are trained on, the more money they make. And that allows us to have everyone work every station. The chef can do a drink, the guy at the bar can do the dishes, and the dishwasher can run tables. So everyone does everything. With that, in our Stockholm restaurant, we do 5 guests per labor hour. And when we count labor hour, we include cleaning. We clean our own restaurants. So we're able to do 5 guests per each labor hour. That's the trick to be profitable in a $23 an hour market. So we are able to do 8 table turns per day. That's once you get the efficiency in rotation and the team member structure, it's very interesting what you could do. We're actually faster than these guys. So we're now working with hotel companies that are tired of having Deliveroo and Uber drivers in their corridors because you order a club sandwich from the main kitchen, it's going to cost you $35 and 45 minutes. So we can really deliver to the restaurant, to the hotel rooms in less than 7 minutes. So in terms of return of investment and sourcing, as I mentioned, really think out of the box how we source things and try to jump over a lot of the steps. We have the advantage of being globally connected with vendors, so we can really be innovative in that, but there's a lot of money to be saved doing that. And then some sharing. This is our pizza box. And some of you have seen it. It's gone viral. People said we were completely nuts. You can't do a pizza box that costs $1. It's impossible. We said, okay, we call this the project, the pizza box for the boardroom. If a board would to order pizza, what would that box look like? So what you touch is actually silk, and it slides out, and it's the same friction that when you open your iPhone product, you know that little suction when you open the box? What was very interesting is we did a focus group. So we took exactly the same pizza, the same food, and presented it in our box and in a white box. And we asked guests how much were they willing to pay for the same product. They are willing to pay 27% more money for the same product in our box versus a white box. We kind of expected that, but what we did not know is that 80% of people that order our box posted on Instagram. So we can actually take the money from the marketing budget, not from the OpEx budget. And very interesting as well, and it's a good learning for you, they're not taking the pizza out of the box and put it on the plate and take the picture. They take this picture. And what's on this picture? Our brand. So make sure that the picture, or the packaging is picture-worthy and the brand is relevant on the actual packaging. We're starting to get orders of 150 or 200 pizzas. I don't have 200 friends. So we started to call back to these guys and say, sorry, I have to ask, why are you ordering 200 pizzas? And it's for weddings. At 3 a.m. in the morning where people are drunk, they want to have pizza, but they don't want a Domino's pizza. Sorry, Domino's. They really want something elevated. So a lot of events. We had a T-shirt company launch their new campaign in our boxes as collab. So there's a lot of things we could do with this. We call these restaurants our labs, and they're packed with technology, packed with sensors. So we measure everything. MAC addresses, Bluetooth, beacons, heat mapping, everything you can imagine we measure in these restaurants. And not only do we measure everything, we also track everything. So in real time, every 15 minutes, we know how many phones are in the store. We know where they come from. We know if you've been with us before. We know our capture rate. We know all the data from the phones, even if you're not connected to our Wi-Fi or to our Bluetooth. So once we have all the understanding and track and correlate that with weather and external events, we track, for example, dwell time and time value, right? How much value can we get out of every minute of our guests, which is extremely important, and try to take out every minute of the experience that is not adding value. But at the same time, understanding, and if you can see on the graph, this is from December, half of our guests are in the store less than 30 minutes. So basically out of the whole experience, if you think of dining experience, it's divided in 3 parts. You go into a restaurant, you talk to the host, you get seated, you get a menu, you wait for your server, you get your menu, all that. We take that out. The actual dining component is regularly 20 minutes. We don't eat for more time than that. And then the third part is I want my check, et cetera, et cetera. So we try to take out those parts, and therefore we can have 8 table turns a day at a restaurant. So it's a tech-driven experience. This is the first restaurant in the world to have an accuracy of 1 inch. We know where your phone is with an accuracy of 1 inch. So unfortunately, you cannot try it yesterday. I wanted to have it ready for the conference. We're beta testing our app, and it works like this. We're here. We're hungry. We place our order. We're not telling the restaurant when we're coming. Whenever we want, we just walk into the restaurant. The moment we break the geofence, the order is triggered to the KDS. We can go and sit wherever we want. We don't have to talk to anyone. Within 5 minutes, food is on the table. When we are ready, we walk out, and we're prompted like Uber. Thanks for coming. How was your experience? Do you want to rate us? Do you want to tip? So the true frictionless experience that if you don't want, you can just go in and out 20 minutes. That's really where we're getting. Our average dwell time in Stockholm is 18 minutes for lunch. Some insights, and I shared these a couple of years ago with you. So we worked with a lot of the environment. So this concept is called V. V is the Roman numeral 5 for the 5 senses. So we worked with Spotify in understanding what music impacts on guest behavior. And one of the learnings that we did with McDonald's was that depending on if you play brand fit music, you're actually going to upsell on your high margin products, which is extremely interesting. There's a report. If you email me, I'll be happy to send the report in terms of how you can drive sales or throughput through the type of music you play. So the more brand connected music you play, you're going to have higher sales. So we do something called a sound scan, understanding, and there's no right or wrong. A brand could either be energetic or calm. So once you understand your brand values, Spotify has then logged all these attributes to all the music in their portfolio, and then the algorithm can create playlists automatically that are fit for a specific brand. Another learning is volume. So we did this test in restaurants that serve salads and pizzas and salads and burgers, so healthy and unhealthy food. When we play exactly the same playlist at 15 decibels higher, the sales of unhealthy food, i.e. pizzas and burgers, went up 10%. So think of that, 10%. So now you can create the right algorithm. Knowing what our capacity is in the store and how many guests we have inside the store, the algorithm can automatically create the right music in real time. We also work with scent strategy. We use wood fire oven scent and fresh basil. When we change from wood fire oven scent to fresh basil scent, our salad sales go up 13%. So Monday to Wednesday, we use fresh basil. Thursday to Sunday, we use wood fire oven. So think of that. We're now doing real-time controls, so we can actually change the light temperature of each individual bulb in the restaurant in real time, depending on exterior weather conditions and how many guests we have inside the store. And finally, one of the things that we work a lot is how do we retain talent? We have almost no turnover after month 6 of operation. And we listen a lot to these kids that have never worked in a restaurant but want to work in this cool space in town. And one of the things that are most important to them is not disguise them, not dress them up. They hate uniforms. So whenever we can, we suggest having brand style guides or dress codes that within a range you can choose how to express yourself. Very interesting, very relevant. And we actually listen to them, and we build them together with them. So they're super proud of what they wear and how they dress, even when they leave the restaurant. So a quick recap from the learnings we have. Throughput, 30 seconds per guest. Ticket time, our Stockholm store is now doing 4.5-minute average ticket time. No cooks, cross-training on all platforms. Low food cost, that's the beauty of pizza, is flour and yeast and water. Get a lot of seats in. Out of 3,500 square feet, we get over 180 seats. Use tech whenever possible. All these solutions are available. We've just taken them from other sectors. High liquor sales mix, use your bars. And that results in really high EBITDAs, even in high labor markets. I don't want to finalize, I have 10 seconds left, without giving you a little giveaway. Every year at Livit, we do a trend report, the 20 trends for the next 10 years. You can take a picture of it and download it for free, where we share all the learnings that we have from across the world. And with that, I'll be around for the rest of the conference if you have questions. We don't have time for that, but I want to thank you for your time. Thanks.